What's up, everyone? LMC Gaming here again. This is a special video for me. 500 subscribers. I have 500 subscribers right now. That's amazing. I never thought I'd get that many people actually caring about the videos and tips that I'm trying to provide for you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Um, it's been really busy time for me, and I don't really think it's going to get too much less busy in the next month. I have a 19-month-old son right now. He takes up a lot of my time. I'm working 40 hours a week at my job, grinding out my job, kind of like you have to grind out some of the stuff in Summoner's War if you're a free-to-play player. And I got another kid on the way. In a little more than a month is my wife's due date. It's going to be a girl. I'm going to have a daughter here in a little more than a month. I'm super excited about that. So that's going to make it difficult for me to make videos too. But I think in the mornings, I'm still going to be able to do videos for you guys. I'm going to find time to make these videos. There's always time in everybody's life. You just have to find the time. Everybody says I'm so busy, I'm so busy. And you got to make time. If it's something you really want to do, you'll make time for it. And these videos is something I really want to do. So, uh, yes, 500 subscribers. And you guys know YouTube creators make a little bit of money. And it's a very little bit for me right now. Summoner's War and the amount of viewers, it's nothing much at all. But it's starting to become something. So I finally linked my AdSense account, which is how you get paid for these videos, to my bank account. And I set up a separate checking account for my new daughter, and that's going to be her college fund, even though she's 18 years away or 20 years away from that. And I already have one for my son, and his is going pretty good. I try to throw some extra money in there, so maybe if you guys keep watching the videos, you'll buy her a couple textbooks in 20 years. So thank you guys so much for being loyal subscribers, and hopefully you like these videos. Enough about the boring stuff there. This is a video for you guys. I've gotten quite a few questions in the comments section, and I want to go over some of that stuff because the last time I did some videos about my monsters, my runes, what I suggest for level 20 players, things like that, mid-game players. It was a long time ago, and things have changed a little bit, and I think I have a little better suggestions for things like that. So let's start this video off. We'll do a luck wish, and I think I have some mystical scrolls saved up. I haven't used any in a few days. I don't have enough for a premium pack yet, but tip number one for anybody who's in the mid-game area of this game: save your crystals. Do not spend them. Well, that's the junkiest thing I could have got right there. Oh well. Save your crystals. When you get 750 of them, go into the shop and buy a premium pack. With that premium pack, you're going to get 11 Mystic Scrolls. Chances are you're probably going to get at least a 4-star monster. Hopefully. I'm not going to say you're going to get one because it's all luck. But some people have gotten 3 4-star monsters and they've added those to their team, and it's just totally boosted their team. 4-star monsters, 5-star monsters are generally way better if you have the right runes on them than, say, some of the 3 stars. There are some good 3 stars that you definitely want to start training and leveling, and I'll go over those a little later. Let's do some mystical scroll summons. Oh, we got 4 of them. Okay. So before, I got another comment that said, well, you weren't doing it right. You were only doing 1 gold star summon with your unknown scrolls, 1 2-star gold monster, and then you were going right to the mystic scrolls. Some people were saying the trick is get 2 gold star two-star gold monsters in a row with unknown scrolls, then go to mystical scrolls. You know how long that would take? I don't have time to show that to you guys, and I don't think it's going to really help anyways. Another user posted and they said, well, it seems to help me if I don't skip the mystic scrolls and I let them play all the way through. So let's try that right now. No lightning. Boo. Drunken Wind guy. I think this is the first Wind Drunken Master I've got. I could be wrong, but he'll go in my collection. He's fodder monster, I think, right now. Come on, let's see some lightning. Boo. Water Lizard Man. I think I've gone over him in one of my previous videos. I don't think he's anything real special. A tanky type monster. Come on, lightning. No, this is more fodder. Definitely. That's okay. Alright, last one. I feel lucky. Oh, yep. I have monster inventory management problems. I always do. You guys see this. So tips for level 20 players. Let's see. This is definitely a tip. Get yourself one of these fire inigamis as soon as possible. That's going to help you clear dungeon content very quickly. His passive skill is awesome. I've gone over that many times. Somebody also posted this Fire Martial Cat. You can use that as fusion. So I didn't even realize that last time I got one. Here, I'll just evolve this Angelmon here, and that'll give us enough room. So I'm going to take a look at the fusion here real quick and see exactly what that Fire Martial Cat could be fused into. It seems to me like fusion is okay. Lucky, come on, let's see some stars. Come on. Yeah. Alright, keep your fingers crossed. What do we got? 4-star natural. Undyne. Defensive fire attribute. That's not that great. Looks like she's a healer. I've seen some people use her in arena. That's interesting. What attacks all enemies with a swirling fire hurricane and recovers an ally with the lowest hit points by 20%. So heal, heal, attacks the enemy with a fire burst. So I don't think she's that great. I've never had any problems killing the people who use her. Her skills don't really do anything super awesome, but I don't have one yet, so that's going to go in my collection, so that's cool. Maybe she'll be good. I'm not going to fuse her away right away. I'm going to do some research with her. So here's the fusion hexagram down here. Let's just take a quick look. Is this... I'm looking for the Fire Martial Cat right now. So here's the Undyne, I think. You could use her to fuse one of these characters, I think. Maybe that's not the Undyne. Let's see. Ninja. Here's the Fire Martial Cat, okay. So I've already actually fused one of these things into the Wind Sliffid, or the Fire Sliffid with my Wind Sliffid, so I'm not going to go through the trouble of trying to get another one. But that's a good monster. Here's the Water Undyne you could create with some lower level monsters, if you have them. But this seems like a lot of work for me. This seems like a lot of leveling up just to get a natural 4-star monster. I've already summoned one of these, one of these. I don't think I've ever gotten a Wind Ninja. But you know, these are decent monsters that you can just get from lucky, being a little bit lucky. Okay, purpose of this video. Real quick, somebody asked me, how do you change your team monster? And that's the option right here. If you just go into your monster inventory, info, this wheel right here, this is your representing monster. This is the one that all your friends can see. Also, this is how you lock and unlock monsters. It's all with the wheel option in the bottom right of the info tab. So that was a quick question to answer. Okay, so getting a little more detailed, what do I recommend for level 20 to 30 players who are kind of in mid-game? They have some monsters. They want to know what to focus on. That is a very general question. I don't know what monsters you have, and I don't know how your team composition currently looks. With that said, some of the monsters that I know that everybody can get, this monster comes right off the bat, the Saik, and I've already done some showcases on him, and I explain why he's such a good monster. And it's mainly for his buff attack right here. Buff everybody on your team with plus attack power, plus crit rate. That's awesome, especially if you put speed runes on this guy. Um, you could even just go Fatal Blade. I think mine is Fatal Blade. Yep, Fatal Blade, and but this is a speed. Oh no, it's not even speed. He's my fastest hitting monster because I think I have a lot of plus speed substats here. But if you can make sure that he attacks first in your team, he's going to put that buff on before anybody else does their first attack. And there's a lot of different ways you can play with this character depending on how your team looks, but he can be very awesome. This is a very hard hitting attack, especially if you go with plus attack percent runes. So this is one of the monsters. This also, the Fire Inugami, ever since the patch a few weeks ago, it's been much more difficult to farm a 3-star monster from Faimon Volcano. But I've still gotten a couple of these guys just from farming Faimon Volcano in normal mode. Get yourself one. His passive ability is unique. Get an extra turn if you kill the enemy. So if you can one-shot enemies with a single attack on this guy, like for dungeons, he's huge. He'll just wipe out an entire floor for you with, the enemy never getting to attack. So, and he can be a really good player in arena as well. If you rune him properly, people like to put violent runes on him. Violent runes are hard to get, high level violent runes, especially for mid game players. But that's a good choice, and also Fatal Blade's a good choice, like I got going on here. Attack percent's always better than plus attack, so try to find your 2, 4, and 6 to be attack percent runes. And he's going to mop up, the more attack he has, the better chance he'll have to kill enemies with a one-shot. So you want him to be very high attack. And mine, he's not that great. He's nothing to be super excited about. He's got a little over 1,000 attack, 1,130. This guy's got, 2,300, something like that. So 6-star monsters are going to be very important in the game. And you can't keep everything in this game. It's one thing I've learned, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Some people jump in, they say, oh, I can't believe you fused that 4-star away. Well, it didn't fit into my team, and you can't keep everything. If you want to have any 6 stars, you can't have 35 stars that you want to keep. You're going to eventually have to get rid of some 5 stars. You're going to have to get rid of some 4 stars. So right now, I'm pretty close to getting my next 6-star. This is a fodder monster to turn a 5-star into a 6-star. Both these are. So's the Amazon. And I'm going to have some other ones as well. I'm working towards that. I have a lot of different monsters. So here's something I've been waiting to do. And it hurts me a little bit to do this. I want to awaken my Fire Rakshasa. She's got an awesome passive ability here. So I'm just going to do it, I think. I have this Fire Oracle here. Max 5-star. Max level. And as much as I like her and think she could possibly fit into my team with some of her skills, she can take the buffs away from enemies. As much as I think that's awesome, oh boy, I'm not even going to do it yet. I only have enough materials to awaken one. So I could turn mids into high fire essences, and awaken her, or at least come close to doing so. Or I already have enough to do my Fire Rakshasa. So what do you guys think? Should I do my Fire Rakshasa before I do my Oracle? Because it's going to be a few weeks in between before I can do them both. So what are your suggestions? I'm just going to hold off for now on that. Back to mid-game players. What do I recommend? I recommend saving your crystals, like I already said. Try to get some of these 4-star monsters. Like if I was a new player and I got this Fire Joker, heck yeah, he'd be going on my team. Same with some of these other monsters. I don't know, Wind. If I got him, he'd be going on my team. If I got him, he'd be going on my team. These monsters can kind of set what type of a team you're building for if you have some natural 4-star monsters. So just kind of play the game. That's what I recommend for lower level players who are still leveling up, trying to get to level 40. Just kind of save your crystals, see what kind of monsters you can get out of these Mystic Scrolls. I've had pretty good luck. And everybody gets some 4 stars, so that'll dictate what kind of a team you're going to build. Just depending on what you get for your Mystic Scrolls. Some of the other monsters I'll recommend are Della, which is the wind. I don't think I have one right now, but similar to this. This is the fire magical archer. And she's not even a bad player either. She's got 2 AoE attacks. So if you threw Despair Runes on her, which you can get from Giant's Keep or you can get from the Magic Shop, she could be a stunning monster. She could do some massive stuns for you. So either the wind or the fire magical archer. Somebody asked for a rune build for the water magical archer, and I don't recommend him. Everything I've read about that monster is just the attacks are underwhelming, not really a good monster. Here's a good tip. If you start getting some of these 3-star wind witches, this is a huge monster that could boost you up in arena. I never went with this monster, but I do have a 5-star max or close to max level. You can see if you awaken this water mystical witch, she gets this new skill, increases the attack bar of all allies, and increases their attack power and defense for 2 turns. This is huge. This is like first attack. I'm giving you stronger attacks. I'm increasing your defense, and I'm making it so that all my other monsters are going to attack 20% sooner. So if you can get her to attack first, work on her speed. Give her swift runes, give her plus speed runes as much as possible. If you can awaken her, get her to 5-star, even a 4-star Megan is going to help you in the low level arena battles. And it's going to help you a ton in dungeons too. If she can cast this skill, it's huge. So tons of people use this Megan. She'll awaken into a Megan. That's why everybody says, "Oh, my Megan's better than your Megan." Well, whoever Megan is faster, that other team is probably going to have the advantage. It's going to definitely have the advantage. It's probably going to win the fight. So if you can get a high level Megan, feed your other mystical witches to your water mystical witch, awaken her, get her runes plus speed. That's going to help a ton. Now, I never went that route because, well, I was lucky enough to get this wind sylph right here. And this has a leader skill right here of plus 24% attack speed in the arena. So this kind of makes up for the Megan here. Doesn't totally make up for it, but okay, so here's another thing. I just recommended 2 monsters with the same buff. You don't want both these monsters on your team. If you're lucky enough to have a wind Megan or a water mystic witch Megan, probably don't take Saik on your team. I would just, if you get this, kind of drop your Saik off your team. Because you don't want 2 monsters to be casting plus attack power, because that's just a waste. You're only going to get the advantage of 1. So I was lucky enough that I'm just going with a full powerhouse team. I already have the speed coming from this guy, so I didn't need the speed boost from Megan, and I didn't need her to make sure she attacks first. So this is my leader, and then I have him actually acting first, giving my buffs, and then I have 2 other strong hitting monsters to mop up afterwards. That's worked really well for me. Tons of people use the Megan, and it's actually probably a better arena strategy than what I'm doing right now. If I could swap out my Saik for my Megan, that would probably help a ton. But my idea is I'm going to swap out my Saik for this guy down here, which I was lucky enough to summon. And this skill that he has right here is going to decrease the attack bar of all the monsters, and it's going to weaken their defense for 2 turns. So I think that's going to be enough to offset not having the buffs from my Saik. So we're going to see on that. While we're at it, let's awaken this guy right now. Well, I'll do that in a separate video. This video is just for explaining to some of the comment users, and thanks again. 500 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. I have no words for it. I never thought I'd get 500. So somebody wanted to see the runes I have for my Julian. I have Blade and Fatal runes. So let's just go through them real quick. Here's a 6-star attack percent. It's a number 6, 5-star plus 15 attack percent. Nothing special. I wish it was a six star. So here's number one. It's always going to be attack plus, and it's got attack percent, crit rate. So fatal and blade. I guess that's probably what you're looking to know. And then more attack percent. Wish this was a six star rune. More attack percent. So that's why my Julian hits so hard, is because I have attack percent runes for everything, and it's fatal blade. So he's getting an extra. He's getting extra attack percent, and he's getting extra crit rate. So that's my Julian. And you wanted to see, I already showed off this guy. My Saik is also fatal blade right now. There's a lot of different ways you could root in this guy, so don't just do exactly what I'm doing, because that's what I'm doing. So he's got attack percent runes as well, so he hits very hard also. He usually gets to hit twice if everything goes right on my team before their monsters even get to hit once. And you wanted to see my Wind Sylphid. So he is Despair. I have some Despair runes here. And this is not a proper, these are not proper runes right here. I wish I had attack percent Despair runes to put on my Wind Sylphid here, but I don't. So I got accuracy, because accuracy is going to help the stun rate a little bit, and he casts a lot of debuffs on the monsters, so this isn't a real horrible rune here. Got focus and despair. I wish this was attack percent though. And this is how I have my Wind Samurai. This could be a really good monster, but I've focused on his speed, so I got swift and speed. And the reason behind going with speed is one of his skills, the attack power increases as speed increases. But so far he hasn't been that great of a monster for me. He kind of sits on the sidelines. So I have focus and despair on him, speed, and then these aren't exactly what I want. Attack percent would probably be good right here, but attack percent runes are kind of hard to come by. And then I didn't know if you wanted to see my Clara, my Fire Piert or not, but I have accuracy, attack percent. This is an awesome rune right here. And attack percent and despair and focus. So I can't say enough about how important attack percent runes are, especially in arena fights. If you're going with a speed team that you want to take out their monsters before they even have a chance to do weird things to your monsters. So, and speed teams seem to be very important, very that's kind of the OP team for arenas right now. Everybody's using speed teams. And there's some who are doing things a little different and having success with it, but speed teams, especially Megan teams, this is kind of considered a speed team, because if you can get your Megan to go first, your other monsters have plus 20% speed for that first turn too, kinda, plus the buffs. So there's the runes, there's a few recommendations. If you get lucky enough to summon one of these, she comes as a 3-star water Epicon priest. She turns into Arena, Rina. This is a really good monster as well. The runes on her, just full energy. You want her to be stacked as much as possible with hit points. So I recommend working on this monster for the mid-game players as well. She can solo a lot of end-game content. She does it a little bit slowly, but monsters just can't kill her. She's got this skill right here, acquires a shield. It's just a passive ability that's equal to 20% of your max hit points if somebody does a critical hit on you. If you get a 6-star Rina with max hit point runes, I've had them wipe out my entire team. Even when I have these heavy hitters like my 6-star here, she is a 6-star full hit point Rina is still wiping me out, and it's so frustrating in arena. I think she needs a debuff, but until that time, if you can't beat them, join them. Go try to build up a monster like this, I say. She's very powerful, there's no doubt about it, and it's super frustrating to try to fight her. So anybody who's still sticking around and paying attention to this, thank you very much. 500 subscribers, you're probably one of them, and I super appreciate it. So I'm just going to let you guys go. I think I answered the questions there. I'm going to come back and do another video hopefully today before I have to head off to work. It's Thursday today, and I'm going to probably awaken this guy. I need to make my decision on what I'm going to do between my Fire Oracle and Fire Rakshasa, but I'm going to wait for some comments from you guys. What do you think I should do? Should it be the Fire Oracle? Is she going to fit on my team better? Yeah, probably, but I really want that Fire Rakshasa so I can start auto farming B10, or at least start building my team to do so. She's got an awesome passive ability, and she would really help to take some of the buffs off of the other enemies. But with my team, maybe I don't need to take those buffs off the other enemies. So she would be a great counter for the Megan. If the Megan goes first and adds those 2 buffs, then I can come in next in line with my Wind Oracle, cast this, attacks all enemies, 80% chance to remove beneficial effects, inflicting continuous damage equal to the number of remove beneficial effects. So she's a huge counter against these Megan teams. But she's a 5-star monster. How often are you going to have to worry about running into this Fire Oracle? Well, if you fight me, you might. But not very many other people are going to have that Fire Oracle. So that kind of makes Megan, there's not a lot of good counters against the Megan right now. So that's what makes her so awesome. So there's a recommendation. Thanks again, guys. Gonna let you go. I overtalked my welcome, I'm sure, on this video. Take care. More videos to come.